Hi, my name is Kristen Ross. I teach at Bossier Elementary and I teach 5th grade. The current unit that we're on is Birchbark House, and the lesson that I'm showing you today is lesson 21, and it is called the Timucua Tracks. In this lesson, the Native Americans want to learn the Timucua language, which is the European language, and they want to learn it so they won't be tricked anymore by Europeans. For this unit, for this lesson, every year I like to have my own treaty or contract that I'll read to the students, and I'll say one thing, and they agree to it, they love it, it sounds amazing, and then they sign it, and I read what it actually says, and every single one of them, they get tricked. And I just do this because then they can kind of relate to how the Native Americans felt when they were tricked. So this first video will show you the contract and how they're so excited, and then how they got tricked.
All right, before we get started, Dr. Lacey wanted me to get something signed, and I'm just going to read it to y'all. We're going to find a class representative to sign off on it. So once I read it, we all have to agree as a class that's what we want to do. So it says it's a PE and recess contract. It says starting next Monday, students will be able to go to PE every single day. So there will be no more library, there will be no more lab, you'll go to PE every day. Also, you will have recess every day, no matter your behavior, and no matter if it's super cold, super hot outside. That's what it says. So, does that sound awesome to y'all?
Yes.
Is that something y'all want to do?
Yes.
Y'all want PE every day?
Yes.
You want recess no matter what?
Yes.
All right, just show of hands. Let me see that you agree to that. Okay, I just need one class representative to sign this contract. Who would be the one to sign it?
I knew it.
All right, Elijah, I'm going to get you a pen. Everybody agreed, so all you got to do is come up here and sign it. And then I can turn this in to Dr. Lacey.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. Thank you. All right, so you can see that it was signed, right? Now, let me tell you what it really says. PE and recess contract. Starting next Monday, students will no longer have any PE or indoor/outdoor recess.
No.
On PE days, those students will be split between library and lab. During recess time, students will be sent back upstairs to work on reading comprehension and leap skills. By signing below, you acknowledge that you and your class agree to the following terms.
No.
It was signed. But you signed it.
No, Elijah put it.
Did you read it?
I do it.
Did y'all read it before agreeing to it?
No, you read it. You read it.
Yeah? But did y'all read it?
No.
What did I just do to y'all?
You tricked us.
For the next video, I have a question from Guidebook that is on my Nearpod collaboration slide, and I'll have a student stand up and restate it, and as a class we agree if that's a good restate, and then we will put it down on the Nearpod slide.
How might things have been different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man tracks? Who thinks they can stand up and just give me a restate for this question? Just a restate. You think so, Elijah? All right, stand up, give it to me.
If the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man tracks, things would have been different between.
What goes at the end?
Period.
Say it again, Elijah.
Things would have been different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man tracks. Period.
Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Things could have been different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man tracks. So I want everybody to go ahead and put your restate down on the collaboration board.
For the next video, you'll see the outcome of the last video's question. So you'll see the restate sentence and you'll see an answer sentence. We like to do what's called keep or delete. A student will come up to the board and we will edit it as a class. Depending on the number of errors, we will either choose to keep or delete the answer. This really sets expectations high in my class. They know what I expect out of a 5th grade sentence, and they can see the number of errors, they see why it's an error, and they love doing it.
Y'all gotta help her out like you helped me. Hang on, I'm gonna read it how it says. Thing could have different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man's tracks. Things would have been different because the natives wouldn't have been tricked so easily. CJ, give me something for harmony.
Things could have been different.
Okay, so what are you telling her to fix? What do we put up there?
The S behind things.
Okay, put an S behind thing. So things, we got that now. Things could have different. Summer. All right, so where do we put Ben at? After what word?
Have.
All right, so draw like an arrow. Put it like, yeah. All right, let's see. Things could have been different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man's tracks. That's our first sentence. After this, those 2 errors. Let's look. Things could have been different if the natives could have understood Columbus and the white man's tracks. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at the second sentence. Things would have been different because the natives wouldn't have been tricked so easily. There's 1 error here. Nicholas, what is it?
The S on the wood.
The X on, the S on wood. So delete the S or cross it off. Oh, well, actually, what do we have to do with it? The S needs to go behind things. All right, so let's look again. What you got, CJ?
N supposed to be right there, would it?
Things would have come.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, they should have took the T and the what's it called?
Oh, I see. Okay. The things would have been different because the natives, they have to have an N right here. This says would. It has to say wouldn't. So N. I didn't even notice that one. Good job, TJ. Did y'all see it now?
Yes.
It's an N. All right. Things would have been different because the natives wouldn't have been tricked so easily. There's not that many errors on that one. So
Keep it.
keep. I agree. We're going to do one more.
In almost every lesson, I love to use the buzzers, especially when they're reading. I'll have a question or 2 on the board that comes from Guidebook, and they're able to refer back to those questions while we're reading. When they hear the answer being read, that's when they'll hit the buzzer. This just ensures they're following along, they're listening, and they are engaged. The questions today are: who wants to learn the Chimukaman language, or who is learning the Chimukaman language, and why are they learning it? So you'll see them hit the buzzers as they're listening to the read aloud.
What were you doing back there? Angeline finally had the courage to ask. I went to the preschool to learn to read the Chimukaman track.
I
Good. Elijah, what you got?
had Angeline had asked Fishtail what was he doing, and then he was trying to learn the Chimukaman tracks.
Good. So we know who is learning the Chimukaman tracks, and who is it? Now, do we know why?
For the next video, we are going to discuss with our shoulder partner why Nokomis does not want her granddaughter Angeline to learn the Chimukaman language.
Fishtail was at the school learning the Chimukaman language, but we also learned, don't shout it out, who else wants to learn the Chimukaman language? Who wants to learn it? I want you to blow it if you know it. We know Fishtail's learning it, but there's someone else in our book that wants to learn it. You ready? Angeline! Good. Angeline does want to learn it, but Nokomis isn't happy about it. So this is what Nokomis said, the grandma. Take their ways if you need them, she said, but don't forget your own. You are Anishinaabe. My girl, don't become like them. She's like, don't become like them. You are a native. Do not be like them. Now let's look at this question. How does this quote support your understanding of the relationship between the Europeans and the natives? We discussed earlier, we know that the European and Native American relationship is not what? Is not good. All right. How does that quote help support our understanding? I want you to discuss it with your shoulder partner. You got 1 minute.
Angeline to become like them.
And so that shows you that what?
So that shows me that she don't want to become them.
No, it shows you that. Tell me something about their relationship. It shows you what about their relationship?
The Europeans and the Native American, they don't like each other.
Okay. Yeah. What y'all got?
We gotta be the innocents don't be like
And
them. So it shows that.
And Nicole
they
don't want Angeline to go to that school and be like them.
So
So what does that show about their
it
relationship?
shows that they don't like the Europeans, so they don't want to make her granddaughter act like them. She don't want the granddaughter to act like them. So that shows that
They don't have a really good relationship, huh? They have a bad relationship. All right. I like it.
This quote supports that how I think the Native Americans and the Europeans' relationship is. I think the Europeans and Native Americans' relationship is not good because the Native Americans think that the Europeans are greedy and that they are evil. And the grandma doesn't even want Angeline to know their ways because Angeline might become too much like them.
Good. So your restate and answer was really good, but she added on to it by adding about that quote. You forgot to talk about the quote. But together, it was amazing. Good job.
For the last video, the class is going to build a paragraph. Again, I'll have a question that comes straight out of Guidebook, and students will either volunteer to be the restate sentence, the answer sentence, a detail, maybe cite evidence, a conclusion, or an explain. They'll go up to the front, they'll say their sentence, and then once everyone is done, all together, it has built a paragraph. What you will not see in this video is that the students who are not participating, they actually go up next and they edit the paragraph that was built by the rest of the class. The students love doing this, and it really shows, again, my expectations for what I want in a paragraph.
So the question says, what kind of relationship does Omakais and Old Tallow have? Topic sentence. Go ahead.
Omakais and Old Tallow have a good relationship. I know Omakais and Old Tallow has a good relationship is because they have a special bond. The second reason they got a special relationship is because Omakais feel protected with Old Tallow. The reason that Old Tallow and Omakais have a special bond because Old Tallow look at Omakais the way she look at her dog.
Okay. Cite evidence. Go ahead.
According to the text, open quote, Old Tallow was looking at her dog the same way. Old Tallow was looking at her the same way she looked at her dog. Close quote, period.
In conclusion, this is three reasons how Omakais and Old Tallow has a good relationship.
The objective for today's lesson was to integrate information from multiple texts we have read in the unit to express your understanding about the relationship between the Europeans and the Native Americans. There are multiple ways that I will determine if my students mastered the objective. I will review all Nearpod questions answered in class, as well as grade the Express Your Understanding. For the Express Your Understanding, students were asked to find 2 pieces of evidence from First Americans to support why it is important for the natives to learn the writing of the Europeans. The outcome of this writing will tell me if students understand that the natives do not have a good relationship with Europeans, and that's why the natives want to learn their language, so they will not be tricked. I think next time I would wait to ask the question. The question was, how might things have been different if the natives understood the European language? We usually look at the questions and discuss it, but I would love for them to be able to find the answer and discuss it with their partner first and form their own opinions after reading the chapter instead of discussing it before. After the last video where you saw us building a paragraph, students were assigned the Express Your Understanding. This is where I determine if students mastered the objective or not. I have attached samples of the Express Your Understanding to this application.